So doing a quick video for Chris and Amy. That right there, you can see it's shiny, is my oil filter. So I'm about to change the oil, and the first thing I wanted to do was just check and make sure that this was loose. So hopefully you can see this. I've got it loose now so I can turn it by hand. So anyway, I know it'll come out now, which is a good thing, because when you're starting to do a process like this, you can't stop in the middle and give up. You have to get it done. So job one is, can I get the oil filter off? And if you, it can be a tricky one. So you have to have a special tool. In this case, this is what I'm using. Let's see if you can see that. It's a oil filter wrench. So you put the whole thing, the whole wrench on the top of it, and then it pinches shut. And this one has a head that'll swivel. So if you're in an awkward position, you can twist it, you know, from an angle. Anyway, more in a minute. So this is me under the Jeep. That's the old oil pan. You can see hopefully see the nut right there. That is where all the oil is going to come out. This Jeep holds, in theory, 6 quarts. So I bought myself a pan. This pan holds 16, which obviously is a lot of overkill, but the next size down was uncomfortably small, in the sense of like being able to catch a stream of oil. You know, I'm gonna have to kind of judge, I suppose. I didn't want to have to hit a small target, so I bought a pan that's a lot bigger than I need. And then I've got my socket wrench down here. This is a mat you can usually find at auto part warehouse, or auto part store. It's got one side, it's got plastic on it. The other side is sort of absorbent, but this is just so that oil drips don't bleed through and screw up the garage. So again, I'll start loosening this thing, and then when I get it to something I can just twist off with my fingers, I'll put the camera back on. Alright, so I've got the plug loose, and what I'm doing here is I'm just double checking to make sure I have enough oil. So this is five quarts here, 5 W20. One way that you know that you need 5 W20 is often the oil cap will tell you what you need. So make sure you've already bought, obviously, the oil that you're going to need to put back in. And my habit, because I'm very cynical and risk averse, is to visually check before I commit. 5 quarts is enough to drive to the auto parts store, but I got another 3 quarts there in backup. So I think the pan's sort of roughly in the right place, and we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't start to spit out further than that. It's good to have these neoprene gloves, because then you can just make a mess and peel the gloves off and not worry about it. There we go. So that's the oil getting changed. You're going to throw the bolt right here in the pan. There's a little hole. Everything glides into that open hole, and that's the place they have a little raised thing on the bed of the pan, and that's it. I mean, this oil's not that bad shape. It's pretty dark, so yeah, maybe it's a good idea to change it, even though I don't really think I need to change it. But I trust Willie. He's my mechanic, but At least this time I'll know exactly what's in there and how much and all that good stuff. And when I can kind of think about how long I'm driving on this new oil. Alright, so this is probably going to take about 10 minutes to fully drain out, and I'll come back